When a Kenyan citizen walks into court not to challenge an arrest, but to beg the court to stop it before it happens, you know something is deeply broken. Ndiang'ui Kinyagia, a blogger known for sharp political commentary, stood before a judge this week and said, "I fear for my life, not out of paranoia, but because the last time officers came for him, he disappeared for days."
Plea with this court is to extend the orders that you had given that I may not be arrested by the police. Your Honor, I seek your protection because I fear for my life. And for my arrest.
Let's get straight into it. On July 24th, Ndiang'ui Kinyagia appeared at the High Court with a chilling plea, extended the order blocking my arrest. His reason? The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, he claims, is not interested in due process. They want to silence him permanently.
He is a person of interest to us after publishing very inflammatory material in the social media.
Now rewind just a few weeks. Around June 20th to 22nd, DCI officers raided his house in Kino, Kiambu. Laptops, phones, and sensitive documents were taken. Then he vanished.
We profiled him, we identified his residence, and our officers conducted a search at his apartment in Kino. Unfortunately, he was not in his apartment.
His family reported him missing. Social media erupted. #FreeNdiang'ui began trending. It wasn't just another disappearance. Civil society groups called it what it looked like, an enforced abduction. But then, in early July, he resurfaced, quiet, cautious, and now in court, visibly shaken. In his filing, Ndiang'ui accuses the DCI of weaponizing state machinery. He says he has credible fears that officers intend to eliminate him under the guise of an arrest, a haunting echo of the Albert Ojwang case, another blogger found dead in police custody just last month. Judge Chacha Mwita initially issued an interim order, no arrest without court permission. That's what Ndiang'ui now wants extended, so he can testify and submit his affidavit safely.
I would like to request the court for two things. Number one, to seek an adjournment of this case. And number two, to request that Your Honor protect me from arrest by the...
Let's deal with one item at a time. You want an adjournment so that
I can have an opportunity to review this affidavit with our advocates.
You have an advocate?
With Kibe and Wahome. Kibe Mungai and Wahome.
The court gave him 14 days. That clock is ticking. Here's where things get even more serious. Ndiang'ui wants to testify publicly, not just to clear his name, but to expose what he says is a pattern of intimidation against dissenters. He calls it a silent purge of vocal citizens. His lawyers argue this isn't an isolated case. It is part of a broader ecosystem of suppression, targeting online voices, citizen journalists, and digital activists, all without formal charges, often without warrants.
So the order is that we have a moment with him as family and as family advocates, and if need be, that he gets medical attention, and that he is not to be arrested by those who said that he is a person of interest until this matter is disposed of.
Let's talk about this ecosystem for a moment. Kenya's police reforms were supposed to end this culture of fear. Instead, Kenyans have seen activists like Boniface Mwangi, whistleblowers, and now bloggers like Kinyagia being subjected to state harassment, often under vague allegations of cybercrime, sedition, or public mischief. What's more dangerous? The state doesn't deny it outright. They simply go silent. Critics say Ndiang'ui is faking it, that he staged his own disappearance. But even if that were true, why would someone risk everything, including their credibility, unless they truly believed they were in danger? This is no longer about just one man, many Kenyans believe. It's about what kind of a country Kenya is becoming, where criticizing power now comes with real physical risk, where bloggers are treated as enemies of the state. The next court hearing is scheduled for September 16th, but by then, the real story may no longer be in the courtroom. It will be on the streets, in the media, and in the silent fear of the next person who speaks up. Because when law is no longer a shield but a sword, who protects the citizen?
You have an advocate.
With Kibe and Wahome. Kibe Mungai and Wahome.
Ndiang'ui, however, noted that advocates Wahome Thuku and Kibe Mungai will represent him in future. This came after the Law Society of Kenya, which had previously represented Ndiang'ui, filed a notice to cease acting for the petitioner, leaving him without legal counsel in court. It is when Ndiang'ui requested an adjournment of the court sitting to review the court documents. Senior counsel Martha Karua, also present, called for transparency in the matter and urged the court to grant the petitioner and his family an opportunity to be heard. Through their lawyer Marwa, the respondents argued that the matter has dragged on for too long and that any further delays to hearing the petition would undermine the pursuit of justice and deny the public access to whole truth. Justice Mwita granted Ndiang'ui Kinyagia 14 days to secure legal representation and file an affidavit detailing his account of events surrounding his disappearance.
As indicated from our affidavit, clearly you've seen the investigations are ongoing. They have said...
Many Kenyans believe this isn't about whether you agree with Ndiang'ui's narrative. It's about whether you believe in the right to speak, question, and live without fear. And right now, that right is under siege. What do you think? Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.